What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be doing a video over my Steyr Aug A3 M1. I've had this gun now for, say a couple months now. Fired probably over 1,000 rounds through it, and so I'm going to be giving you guys just kind of my initial impressions of the gun. This is the first AUG I've ever owned. This is the first bullpup I've ever owned. I do have an AR-15, so two completely different designs. Which one do I think is better, or which one do I like more? All that stuff. Like I said, I'm going to be doing just a review of this gun and what I think of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is the A3 M1 model. This is I think the newest model that they currently make. It shoots 223, 5.56, and it did come with this optic, the 1.5 scope variable on it. I have since changed it to this EOTech holographic sight. Real quick to show you guys, I'm using a phone, guys, so I'm not that. Let me see. I don't record many videos. But there, it's a Steyr Arms AUG A3 M1, made in Bessemer, Alabama, and serial number and all that. That's all right there. So that's all on the right side of the upper receiver. So this is the NATO version AUG. They make a NATO and they make a European version. The biggest difference between the two, the stocks are different, the triggers are different, and the trigger packs are different. Those are the biggest differences, but the barrels are the same. The triggers, the upper receivers, I mean, all that's the same, other than, like I said, the trigger packs, the stocks, and the mags are different. Like I said, this is the NATO version, so it'll take the AR-15 mags. So if you got a bunch of AR-15 mags, like myself, it would probably be a wiser decision to buy the NATO version, but it doesn't look as cool as the European version, because the European version takes the original Steyr AUG waffle mags, so it makes it look more original. Also, the European version comes with the cutouts for the ejection port on both sides, where if you get just hang on a minute here, like I said, I'm going to be doing this a lot, flipping back and forth, sorry. If you get just the NATO version, the ejection port will only be on the right side. But if you look here, let me see here. You may not be able to see it. Probably won't. There is a cutout though, right here. You can see where there's a cutout. You can cut that out. That way, if you are a left-handed shooter, the ejection port will be on this side. So, just something to keep in mind. You could do it if you wanted to, but if you buy the European version, it already comes like that. And I also believe the European version doesn't come with two releases. So these are both releases for your magazine. I know both of them have a release here, but I don't think the European version has it here. So, but yeah, this has the 16-inch barrel in it, and it's an awesome gun, guys. I really do like this gun. It's a blast to shoot. It's a tack driver. I did like the scope. The scope was reliable. It was already sighted. Tack driver. I did like it, but I really think the gun, I wanted a holographic sight on the gun, and that's just me personally. And luckily, let's say you can't find this gun with, let's say you want it like this, but it came with this. You can take, obviously you can take this off and put this rail on it with a red dot or a holographic sight. There are 3 screws at the bottom. Those 3 screws down there, you will take those out, and that will remove your optic or the rail, whichever the one you have. Most of these guns come like this, except they don't have, obviously, a sight on it. It's just an iron sight with a rail. But you can get them from the factory with these optics, or scopes, I should say. But very easy gun to take apart. Again, I have an AR-15. This gun is way easier to take apart. I mean, you can literally take everything apart in this gun and not need any tools at all. So I will demonstrate that real quick. I will have to set the phone down, but I'll just show you real quick. You'll just slide this charge handle back and lock it into place. There's a button right here. You'll just push that down. I think it's down. It might be up. No, it's down. You push that down, twist the barrel, and then it slides right out. You'll then take the charge handle, slide it forward, push this button here, push it through, and then you just separate the upper receiver from the stock. It's that simple. So I'll do that real quick. Like I said, I got to put the phone down. Give me a second. Alrighty, guys, literally that quick, that simple. You got the barrel out, upper receiver with the bolt carrier, and there's your stock. You can remove this cushion. Sometimes in here you can get a cleaning kit. All you do, you put pressure. I'm not going to do it. Just put pressure on the cushion here. There's a pin. You'll just simply pull the pin. The cushion pops out, and then you pull the trigger pack out, and your gun is completely disassembled. And it's easy as that. So I will show you real quick. Well, okay, so here's a case. Cases for this gun can be tricky to get. This case, it's made by Elite Survival Systems, made in the USA. And they make different cases for different length guns, and this one is specific for the Steyr AUG. We've got different mags here, magazine pouches, nothing special in there, but it does come with like a sling here, and then a handle. So pretty nice. I like it. It definitely gets my stamp of approval. I recommend them. So now let's talk about removing this upper from the rail from the upper. If I can get this thing to stay up. So there's 1, 2, you may not be able to see it. There's 3 Allens right there. They are a number 4 Allen. They're metric, of course. And you'll want to be careful. This is probably the most, difficult thing with this gun, and it's definitely the most, tricky thing with this gun. Those come from the factory with Loctite on them. So you'll want to heat those up. And to heat those up, here's what I did. I took an Allen socket, and I heated the socket up with a little propane torch. I then stuck the socket down where those screws were and just held it there for a few seconds. That heat will transfer from that socket to the screw, and it'll break that Loctite free. So then you just take those 3 out, and you can see right here, there's 3 of them. You just take them out, and then you just slide your rail or slide your scope on the upper receiver. I use some blue Loctite, put those back on the screws, and tighten it down. You'll want to be careful. Like I said, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, take it to a gunsmith, because you don't want to damage your upper receiver. You know, if you damage your upper receiver, you know, you pretty much don't have a gun. It's all aluminum. You do not want to heat this up. Do not heat this up, or you will distort your upper receiver. So again, just be careful. It's not difficult. I mean, I felt comfortable doing it, but if you don't take the chance. You don't want to round the heads off, or you don't want to strip them or cross thread them. So just really be careful when doing that. But other than that, everything else is pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. So to get parts for this gun, if you need parts, you really only have two options. You go to either Steyr, or you go to a company called Corvius Defensio. They are located in Austria, I believe. I know they're located in Europe. Like I said, I think Austria. They deal with upgraded parts for Steyrs. That's all they do is upgraded parts. They make them to try and improve the Steyr AUG. The only bad thing, if you want something from them, Steyr does sell some of their stuff on their website, but obviously the company, Corvius Defensio, most of their parts are on their website, but they're located in Europe. They don't take a credit card, so you got to use PayPal, and PayPal do the math for you, but you know, you're going to have to get it switched from US dollars to euros. So it is a little more expensive, but you know, sometimes that's the only option, because like I said, finding parts for these can be difficult. I have contacted Steyr because I did have a minor issue with this gun. They will call you back if they don't answer. I have no complaints with Steyr. Their customer service is really good. Definitely, if you have a problem or something, call them. I've had no issues. Another thing, if you do order parts through Corvius Defensio and you have problems, you're going to have to email them. You're not going to be able to call them. They don't even list a phone number. They only give you an email, and that's it. But I'm trying to think, guys. I really think that's about it. As far as complaints, really the only complaint I have with this gun is the charge handle. I'm not a big fan of this charge handle. It's just, you've got to line this charge handle up inside this insert here, and you got to flip it up. You kind of see, you got to, it flips up. It's just going to take time for me to get used to it, but I'm not a fan of the charge handle design. Corvius Defensio, they make a better charge handle, supposedly for these guns. I haven't bought it yet. I am going to put a suppressor on this gun. This gun has it's really loud, and it's got a really big muzzle flash. Man, I don't know why, but man, it's got one heck of a flash when I shoot it. And all I'm using is 5.56 62 grain FMJ bullets. I mean, that's all I'm using, which is this gun can shoot. That's actually what it's meant for. So I don't know why it's that bad, but I definitely want a suppressor for this gun. Something I didn't know, the earlier models, some of them have left-hand threads. So you'll want to be careful if you do buy one and you got an early model. It could be left-hand threads instead of right. So just be careful with that. And how I'll give you an example. I figured this out when I called them. You see my serial number. It starts with a 12. That means that this was the 12,000th you know, this was in the 12,000 range when it was made. Well, right now, Steyr, they're on like the 22 or 23, 24,000 is what they're on right now. So this gun is at least 10,000 models behind. So they're way ahead right now on models when I bought this one. They do kind of consider this an earlier, you know, model. Now, the one problem I did have with this gun, and I'm forewarning anybody that's buying one of these, especially if your gun came from the factory with an optic on it, or a scope, I should say. When I bought this gun, it came with that scope, and I put this extended rail on it. And the extended rail, I looked, it's for the A3 M1, and so it's the right one. And it's made by that company, Corvius Defensio. Well, when I went to go mount this thing, just how you see it, onto this stock, there was a hump right there. And when I went to go slide all this crap on, it got stuck on this hump. It went over the hump, the rail. It got stuck. I had to fight like heck to get this thing off. It was terrible. So I called Steyr, and they told me just to grind this down as flat as I could get it to where it will clear. And that's what it did. It worked, and Steyr says that's what they are doing from the factory. I guess they come like that, and from the factory, they're just sanding them down to where these will slide right over top of it. So if your gun has that, and you're wanting to do what I'm doing, you'll want to make sure you grind that down. But other than that, guys, I'm trying to think of anything else to mention in this. Like I said, that's really the only real complaint I have with this gun. And like I said, I got that fixed myself. But, man, I feel like there's something else I need to say, but I can't think of it right now. Figures. Man, that's going to bother me. Figures. Trying to think if there was something else that I was going to mention about this gun, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Well, crap. Well, other than that, that's pretty well about it, guys. I will put this gun back together real quick. Maybe then I can think about what I was going to say. So give me a second. So just like that, guys, it's back together. I still can't think what I was going to say. Man, it's going to bother the heck out of me, but I can't think but for the life of me what I was going to say. But other than that, that's pretty well about it. If you guys have any questions or anything, just feel free to put them down in the comment section below, and I'll answer them. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Again, like, subscribe, and like I said, thanks for watching. Take it easy.